in the session chaired by my esteemed Professor Girijesh Pant. So I'll be talking about Gulf's role in India's energy security and exploring some policy options. So basically the key message of my paper is Gulf region will be very important from India's energy security point of view, but we don't have any policy for energy security. So what we want now is a multi-pronged, pragmatic external energy security policy. So the basic contents of my paper is I'll provide a brief theoretical construct, what is energy security, and the changing global energy economy where Asia has become the epicenter, and the role of Gulf and India in the global energy order, and the increasing supply constraints in the Gulf, and what are the implications for that, and Gulf's export market moving to the east, what are the implications in terms of geoeconomics and geopolitical, and looking at India's oil security problem, I'll be doing one benchmarking analysis where we stand today. And I'll briefly talk about India's energy diplomacy, which was started in 2005, but nothing is moving as of now. And in the final, I'll be deriving some policy implications for India. So, looking at the academic literature, whatever on energy security, there are basically four approaches. Energy security is a dynamic concept and is closely interlinked to international relations theory. This paper is based on the third approach, that's energy economy approach. I strongly believe in energy interdependence, not energy independence, what USA is carry forward. And in this energy interdependence, there are two dynamics, as already been told in the Chinese paper. One is supply security, which is very important for India and Asia, and at the same time demand security for the Gulf. So if you look at the global energy order, why this happened, there is a structural shift, and 2008 financial crisis was the point when this shift became much more evident, where Asia and the Gulf have become global players, not only in energy, but also in the financial sector. And the new energy order, what emerging after this growth, if you look at the growth for the last decade, growth in developing Asia, that is China, ASEAN and others, is 30.31%. And at the same time, if you look at GCC, is 18%, 19%. So this energy dynamics of Asia, sub-region, is in a sense mutually reinforcing each other. And this new geoeconomic order is giving shape to what they call Trans-Asian Energy Nexus. In the energy demand heartland with Asia, India, and a supply periphery in the Gulf region. Some problem. One slide is missing. Sorry for that. Sorry. Yeah, that's done. One more is missing. It's not there. Okay, sorry. If you look at the growth in the primary energy sector, and in the last 2 decades, India's growth in primary energy consumption was almost 190%, and for Gulf region, at the same time, is 156%, and for whole world is only 48% in terms of primary energy consumption. If you look at the average annual growth, is highest in China with 13%, and India is almost 10%, and the Gulf is 8.4%. At the same time, if you look at Europe, there is a drastic fall in energy consumption. And if you look at the oil sector, India's growth in consumption in the last 2 decades is 170%. And for the Gulf, at the same time, is 108%. And if you look at the annual growth, is 8.4% for India and almost 6% from Gulf. And China is 14%. So if you look at the global market share in consumption, India has grown from 2% to 4%. And the Gulf from 5% to 9%. For China is 4% to 11%. If going forward, like by 2030, bulk of the global oil demand will come from this region alone. China contributing 43%, and Middle East 20%, India 20%, and rest of the Asia another 20%. Well, this is the demand side. If you look at the supply side, there is increasing supply constants in the Gulf. If you look at oil reserves, 54% world oil reserves comes from the Gulf region, and 40% of the world proved gas reserves comes from the Gulf, with reserve production ratio more than 100 years. But Gulf is producing less. If you look at their consumption, the growth is 5.4%, but the production at the same time is only 2%. And the key question is, have the Gulf producers become more conservative? And is this the reason behind higher oil prices going on since 2008? I'll provide two answers to that. There is a structural rigidity in the world oil market and increasing nationalistic tendencies of the Gulf, and no more economic compulsion to produce more oil. We can see two evidence over here. There is a report from IEA in 2008. 800 of the world's largest oil fields have witnessed a more decline of 5.1%. Out of the 21 oil fields in Saudi Arabia, at least 9 are in the decline of 5.4% every year. This has been confirmed by Aramco chairman's speech last month. So obviously, and at the same time, higher energy consumption in the Gulf, because if you look at internal consumption in the Gulf, Saudi and Kuwait are running out of natural gas, and they're producing power using 70% of oil to produce electricity to maintain a growth of 5 to 7% in the Gulf itself. So, and at the same time, countries like Saudi and Qatar, they are reorienting their development strategy. Saudi King Abdullah 3 months back told for the first time, used the term called sustainable development. It was never heard in Saudi Arabia. That means they will control oil and manage the increasing demand from the population. So basically, what does this imply for the long term? And India, $100 per barrel is the bitter reality. We have to live with it. And what impact will be on Indian economy? If the oil jumps from $100 to $125, there will be 0.6% reduction in India's GDP, and it further goes to 150, there will be 1% reduction. Again, this one is missing. So looking at the Gulf export to the world, in the last 3 decades, Europe's share in the Gulf oil has declined by almost 41% to 17% now. At the same time, Asia's share in OPEC exports to the world has more than doubled from 26 to 51% in 2010. So, and Asia's, if you look at the future like 2030, Asia's coal and Gulf oil is going to be very intense, with India's dependence on 85% and China 75%. So there is a competition for Gulf oil, and they have implications for transport in the sea lanes of communication, which is critical from geostrategic point of view. And this will increase, in a sense, energy interdependence, because the Gulf needs to depend on the market, that is Asia, and they need revenues for that. This one is missing also. So, if you look at India's oil imports, in the last financial year, is crude imports almost $100 billion, and at the same time, we are exporting product $43 billion, and the government is importing oil, but who is exporting? It's a single one company. So why you want to do that? So it shows you are exporting petroleum products, which is the second best item, export item in India's trade basket, but the picture is very different when you look inwards. And if you look at in terms of oil consumption and its impact, from 1971 to 2008, crude oil and oil product imports accounted for almost 3% of GDP. Now it has gone up to 7% of GDP. In 2010, India was the 5th largest oil importer and importing 2.3 billion barrels per day, which is going to be 4.5 in the next 15 years. I did a benchmarking to see where we stand. If you look at the right panel, India's energy strategy has never been coherent. And if you look at all the parameters like level of access to Gulf oil and oil price hike strategic petroleum reserves which we don't have, and all the pipeline projects. Across all these parameters, India is very low in terms of energy security strategy. And if you look at the same time, major Asian consumers, they have expanded their interdependence on the Gulf as a hedge for their oil imports. If you look at China, Japan, Korea, in the last couple of months, everybody visited Gulf, but our defense minister went yesterday. So that means somewhere we are lacking a very different strategy. And in the last 3 months, as per the data from Bloomberg, Chinese import from Iran has gone down by more than 60%. At the same time, India's imports has gone up. So I don't know how to balance these strategies. So I'll conclude by saying demand and supply fundamentals point to the prominent role of the Gulf in India's external energy security. Supply constraints in the Gulf combined with Asia's increasing import will pose serious challenges and threats not only to India's oil security but also create geopolitical fault lines. Not only supply security but also price sensitivities, which is very important, will have severe repercussions on India's growth story. While Asian countries have put in place several strategies to increase economic interdependence with the Gulf, India is far behind at the moment. India needs to energize its policy in the form of external energy security towards the Gulf region. To achieve that, certain policy imperatives can be explored. India should look to leverage its existing soft skills, that is trade, investment and labor supply. India's overall policies towards the region should comprise a five-fold strategy, not Gulf alone. GCC differently, Iraq and Iran differently, and at the same time all the Asian consumers and the sole superpower in the Gulf, that is USA. India should, for the first time, they should institutionalize its economic interaction with the GCC at the earliest level, and Singapore is the only country in the world to sign a FTA deal with Gulf as a bloc, not at the individual level. And no other country has achieved that, but we are negotiating from 2002 till 2011. Nothing is moving on that front. And with immense pressure from the USA and GCC countries, India should strive a cautious path of not antagonizing any party, because you have stakes and you have to manage it. So India has to balance these overlapping external pressures with pragmatic strategies based on long-term national security alone. And India should also enhance cooperation with other Asian importers and Gulf producers to develop a market-friendly environment. The traditional government-to-government link which all the Asian countries do, that has become a thing of the past. We have to be active in terms of what the market tells you. In that, there is a mindset among the Gulf. They know all these governments in Asia, they will import from Gulf. No other region can replace Gulf oil in Asia. So this kind of mindset we have to, it's high time to do on the mindset of the Gulf. Like China, India also should seek dialogue partnership with OPEC. Thank you.